Hello YouTube, this is the Magnum94 here, and on today's episode of Stupid Nintendo Articles, I'm going to be analyzing the article called Stop Shoving Amiibos into Every Wii U Game. Now, if you don't know what Amiibos are, they're these little action figures of Nintendo characters that you put onto the gamepad or onto the touchscreen of the new 3DS coming out next year, and there's going to be a little dongle that can connect to the regular 3DS that's coming out sometime next year. And the Amiibos can receive data or send data to the game to help, store, at least for Smash Bros. They store data, you can train the figure, it receives the data back, and it's actually a pretty cool system. But this article title really bugs me. Because it says, stop shoving Amiibos into every Wii U game. Okay. Well, apparently every Wii U game... Well, apparently there are only 6 Wii U games right now. Because, right now, there's only, like I said, 6 games that Amiibo works for. Super Smash Bros. Wii U, Mario Kart 8, Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, Yoshi's Woolly World, Mario Party 10, and Hyrule Warriors. That's it. Only 6 games that work with Amiibo right now. Well, 7 if you count Smash Bros. 3DS. They're not trying to shoehorn in Amiibos into Super Mario 3D World or Pikmin 3. It's only games that come out later half of this year and then next year. Yes, will they probably come in Metroid Wii U and Star Fox Wii U and probably even Zelda Wii U? Probably. But still, that's not every Wii U game. And the person who wrote this article, they don't know what the Amiibos will do in those games. But let me just start reading the article, and you'll figure out why I find this one specifically annoying. And the first sentence really shows it. And, like I said before, this article really seems like a clickbait article. One that they just bash Nintendo just because they want to bash Nintendo. Nintendo is going overboard with this Amiibo thing, and they need to be stopped. Somebody has to take the people in charge aside and explain that every major Wii U game doesn't have to have Amiibo compatibility shoehorned into it. The fact that I feel I had to say this before Amiibos are even out proves something is seriously wrong. No, that proves your ignorance. To say that I can say this before they're even announced, before they're even out yet, and I can already see that something's wrong, no, that just proves that you don't know what you're talking about. That proves that you're ignorant to what these things are. You're assuming that just because the Amiibo store information in Smash Bros. And then you can send it to and from the game, that's what they're going to do in every game. It's not going to be shoehorned into Mario Kart 10. Okay, well, Mario Kart 8. Okay, it might, possibly, because the game's already out. They'll find a creative way to make it work. I almost guarantee it. It's definitely going to work in Mario Party 10 and Yoshi's Woolly World. They'll find a way to make it work in a really cool and unique way. But, ignorance aside, let's move on. I mean, it started out okay. Amiibos will be used in Super Smash Bros. That game made sense. Because in this installment, characters can be improved and customized. Sure, bring those NFC figures on in. Mario Kart 8, and Mario Party 10 were a stretch though. Because the former already worked perfectly fine without Amiibos, and doesn't offer customization really, while the latter is a board game that most people will play around 10 times before they realize that the Mario Party glory days have died with the GameCube. What do I even say to that? Like I said, you're assuming that just because the Amiibos bring info about customization to and from the Smash Brothers games, that's what it's going to do to Mario Kart. And Mario Kart does offer customization. Have you even played Mario Kart? You pick the carts that you sorry. you pick what body of the cart, you pick the glider, you pick the wheels. Maybe you can like, maybe you have the Mario figure. You can like put that on there, and then you can like save your 3 favorite carts or something. And then if you go over to a friend's house who also has Mario Kart 8, you can put it on there, and then automatically selects that cart. I think that sounds like a kind of cool idea. I don't know, and they're probably gonna do a little more than that, obviously. Like maybe if they do make a Bowser Jr. amiibo, maybe it can be like you put Bowser Jr. on there, and then you can like race as them. Or maybe, I don't know. That would be kind of cool, though. Mario Party 10, you don't know how that game plays yet. You're assuming that people will just play it 10 times and then realize that it sucks. No. This Mario Party game looks pretty interesting. You play as Bowser trying to thwart the other players as they're doing their minigame. That sounds like a pretty cool idea. Now, do I know how Amiibo will work in that game? No, I have no earthly idea how Amiibo will work with that game. But I almost guarantee that Nintendo was going to do something creative with it. They're going to make it work, and like I said, be creative with it. And again, it's an option. Heaven forbid that we have the option to use these characters that we spent $13 for in multiple games. You clearly have a problem with Amiibos in the first place. So for all the people who don't have a problem with Amiibo and actually like the figure, you would want to get your money. You would want to get your money's worth with these figures and have them work in as many games as you possibly can. But whatever. Let's move on. Then Nintendo went full cloud cuckoo land. Yoshi's Woolly World has Amiibo compatibility? Why? Will it keep track of yarn records? Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is essentially Nintendo's Echochrome. I don't know what that is. I might Google that later. NFC doesn't need to be there. Again, you're assuming that just because it works that way in Smash Bros, where you can send customization back and forth, that's what it's going to do in Yoshi's Woolly World and Captain Toad. You don't know how it works yet. So until Captain Toad comes out in December and Woolly World comes out probably February or something like that, your opinion is not your opinion is not good. I'm sorry, but just saying that you have no idea how it's going to work in these games, therefore they don't need to be there. You're not Nintendo. You don't call the shots. You clearly aren't creative enough to think of any good ideas for these things. So just shut your mouth. Where was I? We aren't going to go to a friend's house with our figure to show off how much treasure we've collected. Most recently, it was revealed that Hyrule Warriors will work with the Link amiibo. I guess because Nintendo figures will want to save our customized Link with the weapons we acquired for him in game and such, and play as him at the house of someone else who also has Hyrule Warriors and a Wii U. Yeah, that sounds like a really cool idea. I would want to do that. Like the Link I have on my Hyrule Warriors game is awesome. Like I love the Lana that I have on Hyrule Warriors has if you have Hyrule Warriors, you know what I'm talking about. Has Lightning Plus, Strength 3, and Strength 4. I would want that Lana to save there and transfer over to if I want to go to someone else's house and to show them how awesome that Lana is. Like that sounds like a really cool idea. You pretty much just invalidated your point just by saying that. Whatever. Let someone who has played numerous Disney Infinity and Skylanders games tell you the NFC figure secret. Swapping figures gets sold. Sure, when you first get a game, it's so much fun to see what every single character looks like. Switch them in and out 20 times in 20 minutes. We'll use them all day. It's a party. Then you start playing for real and find you rely on a handful of figures. Even then, exchanging them can be a chore. So what if you can unlock that life arena right now? I'm doing really well with Tech Skylander, Chopper, and need to level him up anyway. I'll come back later. Ask anyone who has ever played an NFC game before, and I guarantee they'll agree. It's fun to collect the toys, and sure you'll use a bunch of them, but in the end, a set rotation will be formed. Between 2 and 8 fig characters will see a lot more use than anyone else. Okay, I see where you're coming from with Skylanders and Disney Infinity, but the games that you already stated that they're coming to, Woolly World, Treasure Tracker, they're not gonna be like that. Probably for Woolly World and Treasure Tracker, you'll probably for Captain Toad, probably like the standard Mario characters, Mario, Luigi, Peach. They'll probably all do the same thing for that game. And then for Yoshi, probably the Yoshi and maybe the Mario figure will be able to do the same. All do the same thing in that one game. Or I don't know. They'll probably do. I don't really know how it'll work. Like I said, you probably can't play as Mario in Woolly World, but that'd be cool. But you won't be like switching out figures like you're saying. And in Smash Bros, switching out the figures, that's a really cool idea. Being able to say you want to play an 8-player Smash and you have 4 friends over and then 4 amiibos. That worked. And then maybe the next match you play with 4 different amiibos. I don't think that would get tiring. You play with your own personal amiibo, and you level that up. And then maybe in Yoshi's Woolly World there is some kind of, I don't know, probably not, but in Yoshi's Woolly World or Treasure Tracker, well, it's hard to say. Maybe there is some kind of leveling up system that you can store on the amiibo. Sorry, I'm a little sick right now. Okay. I think that sounds great. I honestly... See, the problem with this article is the guy is comparing what he's assuming amiibos will be like to Skylanders and Disney Infinity, which I almost guarantee you it won't be. Actually, I guarantee you it won't be like that. Nintendo is going to try their hardest to make it unique. Let's just finish the thing out. It's like Nintendo thinks their amiibos will be something so special and revolutionary that they'll have to be in every game and used all the time. The truth is, that approach is going to make them unwelcome. We don't want to always be bringing them in and out when playing a game. The fear that something will be missed because we don't have an amiibo is unpleasant. Especially since it won't be as though we're leaving an amiibo on a peripheral in front of us. We'd have to be consistently tapping them on the gamepad to check them in during play. Less is more, Nintendo. Less is more. Especially since they're already destined on a life on a desk. Like I said, it's an option. Nintendo is not going to make these things mandatory to beat a level. I would honestly be felt betrayed if I did end up getting Woolly World and then level or 2 are locked, or even more than that, are locked behind the Yoshi amiibo. I feel betrayed by that. Nintendo is not going to betray their fans like that. They don't do that. And even if they are like some kind of glorified DLC, they'll have the DLC stored on the thing, and then you pay $13 for that Mario amiibo, and say they're not going to do this, but say in Smash Brothers, you buy the Mario amiibo, you tap it on, and then you can play. I don't know. You can play as not Kamek. Dr. Luigi. I don't know. You can play as Dr. Luigi in Smash Bros. As the playable character. I mean, you would just be a clone of Luigi, but still. And then you could probably use that same character that you paid $13 for to pop him into Captain Toad, and then you get the DLC for that game too. Same for Woolly World. Same for Mario Party. Same for Mario Kart. they're not going to be unfair with these amiibos, and I almost guarantee you that people will use these. They're not just going to be put on the shelf like many people think they are, especially if, like I've kept saying, especially if Nintendo uses them in unique ways for every single game. And just the ignorance and the assumptions that this article is trying to make, it almost sickens me that like, is this seriously how gaming journalism is coming to? We take an idea that someone produces, mainly Nintendo, and just assumes one thing and then runs with it for the entire article. That's not gaming journalism. That's gaming stupidity. I need to stop this. I need to stop before. Oh my goodness. Okay. I honestly feel dumber for reading this article. Like, everything, there's nothing insightful came out of this article. Nothing good came out of reading this article. You're stating your horribly misconstrued opinion and stating it as fact. That's not how journalism should work. Yes, journalism is filled with opinion, but it should always be left open to interpretation. He never said one positive thing that could come out of Amiibo, other than the fact that it works in Smash Bros. He never gave any ideas that else might work with the Amiibo. He never mentioned the fact that it'd actually be a good idea for Amiibos to work in multiple games, because if you're going to pay, like I've said, if you're going to pay $13 for a figurine, you would want that figurine to be worth your money. But no, that would go against everything this article stands for in the title. So, this has been the Magnum 924. More of these will come, because you can find these kind of articles daily, to be honest. Well, like, comment, subscribe. See ya.